Today, let's begin with round 16. The title of today's lecture is The Various Supernatural Abilities. A spiritual competent person has some various supernatural ability, and at this lecture, I will explain the spiritual judgment, clairaudience, automatic writing, automatic drawing, raps, and levitation. Now, let's continue the supernatural abilities of the lesson of the last week. First, I will tell about the spiritual judgment. When a spiritually competent person looks at a thing, he knows all the facts or the history of the thing concerning it at once. This phenomenon is called the spiritual judgment. There is a scientist who used this ability and saw a satisfied result. It is said that a geologist of Boston University of America named William Denton researched the history of fossils and other things using his sister Anna Denton's Critch's ability of the spiritual judgment, and he researched the history of some stones, and also he researched many other things. At last, he had a great result. And next, clairaudience. It is a phenomenon in which a person can hear the voice of a soul, and it is said that historically Socrates of Greece and Jeanne d'Arc of France could hear the voice of their guardian or angels. I think that a common person frequently hears the voice of the God he or she believes in. And in my opinion, a person who is quite sensitive spiritually can hear those sorts of voice very distinctly. I think that it is a common phenomenon that a person can hear the voice of the God he believes in, or that of other persons, by their feeling or telepathy ability, even though they do not hear with their ears. In other words, this sort of telepathy hearing, the message of which is sent from mind to mind, is the general capability and the phenomenon of the people. As a matter of fact, it is said that the most important means of communication of the aliens is this telepathy ability. As telepathy is the fourth dimensional or the spiritual wave, the characteristic of it is that it is not limited by time and space. Therefore, when a person gets a telepathy communication with a person who is 500 light years away from the earth, he can listen to the voice instantly. A quite alarming fact. I think that the structure of the humankind's head is constituted or made for telepathy communication. Next, spirit speaking. It is a phenomenon in which we can hear the voice of a dead person. A spirit of a dead person comes into a living person, and the spirit speaks through the voice of the living person. We can watch this sort of phenomenon easily in the movies of spirit, such as The Unchained Melody. A fortune teller is a psychic medium who is possessed by such a spirit as the spirit of his ancestor temporarily, and sometimes the medium is in the state of the complete unconsciousness. In Korea, the ghost medium, 귀신점쟁이, the ghost medium can be just that person. Next, automatic writing. This is a very extraordinary and mystic phenomenon in which a medium writes or draws a picture by the direction of one's teacher spirit or guide spirit who teaches vocation, job, hobby, or special skill. When he draws a picture, it is called the automatic drawing. Mr. Andongmin is the example of the automatic writing, and he received some messages from the heaven and made it public. Charles Dickens of England left a posthumous work, and it is said that he, as a God's spirit after death, wrote the novel thanks to the handwriting of other living person. His last novel, The Mystery of Edwin Drood, is just the book. Next, ectoplasm. This material is white and soft, and it is usually comes out of the eyes, nose, or ankles of a medium, and it is said that even the modern science cannot clearly explain this material. In 1916, a German surgeon, Schrenck-Notzing, analyzed the ectoplasm, and he came to know that the material contained lots of white corpuscles and something like spit or saliva with the epithelial tissue. He publicly said that when he burned the material, he smelled the smell of burning a piece of nail, and in the ash he found the radium chloride as well as the calcium phosphate. When they put a net around the mouth of the medium, the ectoplasm came out of the net, and so we can presume that this material is a sort of fourth-dimensional supermaterial. The next photo is the shape of the ectoplasm, which comes out of the net which is put around the medium's mouth. It is in the book The Place Where a Soul Stays, written by Song Mong-che, page 32, Shenmul Publishing Company, 1993. Next, reps. This is a very extraordinary spiritual phenomenon, and even though there is no physical manipulation, there appears some queer sounds such as foot rapping sound like tok, 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 and other word rapping sound like kung, 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 and other fist rapping on a desk sound, etc. Lots of experiments explained this sort of sound as the one made by the ectoplasm movement or manipulation. Sometimes a ghost of a dead person makes such sound. On the day of March 31st, 1948, a rapping sound communication with a ghost was made in the basement room of a house in a small village of Highview of New York State of America. The Spiritual Association of America decided this day to be the day of the spiritual science. The movie Unchained Melody shows us quite vividly the scenes of a ghost trying hard to communicate with a living person, and we can understand it easily when we relate this scene with the Highview incident. Next, levitation. The phenomenon that a thing arises without any physical manipulation looks antagonistic to the physical law, and it has been the pretext for the negative view of the spiritual phenomena. However, as the result of various experiments, this phenomenon proved to be the function of ectoplasm, which comes out of the medium's mouth, and it is not against the general physical law. Therefore, this phenomenon is considered to be the natural phenomenon and a matter of course in the world of spiritual science. The experiment was performed by Dr. Crawford in 1915, long time ago, for the first time. In the movie Unchained Melody, a ghost that could not go to the afterworld throws or moves things. It can be said that the ghost became the earth-trained spirit, 지방령 in Korean, 지방령, earth-trained spirit, and it is said that it is not any elusive but a real phenomenon.